close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a circuit that demands absolute precision, bravery, and just a little bit of luck. Tonight, I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, and it's green, green, green here at the Miami Autodromo Internazionale. Side by side, there goes Sean Stam, the Stamman, and the 000 as well. Papa Green made up 3 positions in 2 laps. With Leslie Simpkins now throws his elbows out at Druid.
Good evening, and welcome to the legendary Spa-Francorchamps, where tonight Sausage Dodgers Racing brings the Porsche Cup to yet another iconic and demanding circuit. Spa is a place that demands respect. It's long, fast, technical, and unforgiving, with every sector asking a different question of the driver. From the climb through a Rouge and Radion, to the long run up to Kemmel, high-speed commitment required through Pouan and Blanchimont. This is a circuit where confidence meets precision. They have to work together every lap. And in this machinery, the challenge becomes even greater. These cars demand discipline on corner entry, commitment on exit, and complete trust in the car through fast sections. At a place like this, one mistake does not just cost time, it will change your whole race. Tonight is about rhythm, bravery, and execution of one of the sport's greatest venues. Welcome to the Barum Engines Porsche Cup at Spa-Francorchamps. It's time to go racing. Tonight I'm your host, Sagar Bakshi, taking from green to checkered flag for the 2 heats we have. 100% fuel limit, 2 fast repairs on the clock. Can the drivers stay committed to make it? We'll find out soon, folks. Round the 7 kilometers track with 19 corners, 9 to the right, 10 to the left, and 337 feet of elevation change. The drivers are going to battle on historic battlegrounds tonight. Couple of quick keys to the race for the drivers, if they're still around and paying attention. Nail a rouge and Radion. That's key number 1. Number 2, be disciplined under braking. Number 3 is protecting momentum through the fast corners like Les Fanges. And then 4, build the lap. Don't force it. Spa is too long and complex to attack recklessly into every single corner. So planning your attacks favorably is going to be the tact that you need to express. Taking a look at the tower, only a few drivers have trickled in times, but they're starting to come in quick, fast, in a hurry. Louis Butler leads the charge, able to produce a 2:16.740. For the back, Mertman Darez, a championship contender as well, 2:17.46. Thomas DeJong, Mikhail Surov, Mark Richards, Vaslav Marchenko, Kasper Wazowski, Jack McCarthy, Lloyd Butler, Oscar Corbett round out our top 10. Speaking of points, take a look at our championship standings this week. The big conversation here for the Barum Engines Porsche Cup, presented by Sausage Dodgers Racing, is going to be that Miguel Cerceda Toledo is not here tonight, but leads the championship by only 1 point. Louis Butler has a chance to advance his charge and take the lead of this championship. Mert Mandera is running in third. Mark Richards, Leonid Kovalev, Mikhail Surov, Oscar Corbett, Vladislav Marchenko, James Piper, Jack McCarthy all round out your top 10. Tim Williams just outside in 11th position, trying to find a little bit of room there on his run. Alvaro Casado, Andrzej Timjek, Marchenko Kloarek, Philip Ansel, Thomas DeJong, Kasper Wazowski, and Lloyd Butler, Uncle Lloyd Butler to you in 18th place. Over to 19th and beyond, it'll be Thomas Hines, Sam Marshall, Jon Comte, Isaac Fairweather, Leslie Simpkins, Kostas Bavudas, Noah Osbadelston, Tamak Sor, Simon Darsh, and Mustafa Yakan. Thank you very much for joining us, folks. Thank you very much for staying tuned. As always, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell to get notifications for when we go live next. This is going to be the Barum Engines Classic and Competition Porsche Cup Championship, presented by Sausage Dodgers Racing. Lloyd Butler calls it done and rest in pit lane, but a fast time comes in from Ansel. He's able to produce a 2:16.49, 2:16.94 for Mertman Darez. What can Vladislav Marchenko produce on his run out of 4th position? Mikhail Surov running the number 83 in 5th place. Beautiful livery here from Vladislav Marchenko, and it'll be good enough for 4th position there. That's going to conclude the session, folks. We'll get the unofficial results posted here in just a second. It'll be Louis Butler, Philip Ansel, Mertman Darez, the 1, 2, 3. Vladislav Marchenko, Mikhail Surov, Thomas DeJong, Mark Richards, Richard Beaton, Oscar Corbett, and Kasper Wazowski round out our top 10. Down to 19 and beyond. 11 and beyond, Lloyd Butler, Jack McCarthy, Thomas P. Hines, Sam Marshall, Andrzej Timjek, Isaac Fairweather, Noah Osbadelston, James Piper, and Leo Kovalev. So on the starting grid, side by side, Butler and Ansel are going to go wheel to wheel in towards turn 1. Mertman Darez and Vladislav Marchenko on row 2. On row 3, Mikhail Surov and Thomas DeJong. Row number 4 is going to belong to Mark Richards and Richard Beaton. Row number 5 going to Oscar Corbett and Kasper Wazowski. 6, Lloyd Butler and Jack McCarthy. A little further back than he'd like to be, Thomas P. Hines and Sam Marshall on row number 7. Row number 8 for Andres Timjik and Isaac Fairweather. Noah Osbaldeston and James Piper are going to line row 9, and Leo Kovalev is all by himself on row 19. Waiting for the drivers to rev their engines, and we'll get ready to go racing here at Spa. Ready to go for the green lights. Green, green, green is the flag color. Barney's waving it. I am proud, and all the drivers are off like rocket ships. There's one dropping like a stone, and that's Thomas P. Hines right now. Up at the front, Louis Butler defends well from Philip Ansel. Mert Menderes in P3, Vladislav Marchenko. Couple of sausages are off in the background. That'll be the 24 of Jack McCarthy, but gaining the few is going to be Isaac Fairweather and Noah Osbaldeston. Side by side up the hill through Eau Rouge. It's going to be Isaac Fairweather and Lloyd Butler. Uncle Lloyd, no! The 369 is in the barriers immediately. Thomas DeJong gets a cut. Richard Beaton makes it through cleanly. Mark Richards gets a cut, though. A couple of drivers all succumbing to the track here. James Piper throwing his elbows out here after the Kemmel Straight and Lacombe's into Malmedy making moves on the opening lap. Mark Richards, who's down 5, had to take that slowdown penalty, sits behind Isaac Fairweather and Leo Kovalev. Number 18 gives a little push and shove to Oscar Corbett, the sausage up ahead, but to no avail as he's still locked in battle with the 187 of Leo Kovalev. Leo Kovalev is going for it around the outside of Poulan, but might end up losing ground on his run. He does. Phil Brown in the YouTube chat. What's going on, Brown? Thank you very much for being here. And a little bit of defense there from James Piper and Mark Richards as they go wheel to wheel now. Osbaldeston charges ahead. Up 4 positions on the good right now. Thomas DeJong clocked in battle as well. Richard Beaton up the road. And Kasper Wazowski right behind. Oh no, and we've got a sausage off. That's going to be Kasper Wazowski coming out of Stavlot. Looks like he just got on the lot pen. There's the 187. Again gets clipped. See what happens here to Kasper first. Kasper gets wheels off into the kitty litter there. And then a couple cars in avoidance get collected. And then where's the next incident? Leo Kovalev crash. Oh, Kovalev's just injured from the earlier incident. Oh, and that's where Kovalev ended up clipping Kasper there. Oh, it's just a mess right now. We've lost, I think, 5 drivers here at Spa in just one opening lap. 99 of James Piper looks forward to the 420s battle, but can't get it done. Up 7 on his charge through the field tonight. Piper looking for a potential podium even. Battle for the lead is still here and very much alive. Louis Butler and Philip Ansel right behind by only 0.4 of a second. You see him close down the gap at the Fanges. Under braking seems to be where he is better than Lloyd Butler at this point in time. Coming out of Stav lot, we're not seeing any kicks up of the kitty litter. So on that occasion, things are going positively. It's a very long lap here at Spa, 2:19.2. We saw 2:18s come in during the qualifying heat. I wonder if we'll be blessed with any of those again. Looking back here, Mark Richards and Oscar Corbett. Oscar Corbett is just ahead of Mark Richards currently. The Sausage Dodgers number 420 tries to challenge up the road, but can't quite find the daylight on the 998. Mark Richards closes down the gap right onto Oscar Corbett going through turn one. And up the hill through Arouge and Radion. We're going to have to switch over to Fairweather, who's a little further up the road. Fairweather driving that number 18, battling with Richard Beaton, 553 driver. What happened to Ansel? Sausage Dodgers replay of what happened here. Slowdown penalty for the 48, I would presume, is what happened. And Ansel drops like a stone, leaving Louis Butler with a 1.2 second gap. Unbelievable. Louis Butler just needs to keep it calm, cool, and collected now. And the championship, well, could just go in his favor. Osbadelston continues to charge up the road. Now he's got his sights locked on Richard Beaton in that 553. Up ahead, Isaac Fairweather. And who is that? Vladislav Marchenko go wheel to wheel. A big hip check there for Noah Osbadelston. He goes off at the bus stop. Now I think he's going to give a hip check back to the 553. You race how you're being raced. And Osbadelston's one to trade paint every once in a while. Osbadelston here at turn one gets the move done on Richard Beaton, fair and square, clean as day. He's going to charge up the field, continuing this battle that he has with everybody on the asphalt. And Sal all over the rear end of Mertman Darras currently, but let's take a look at James Pfeiffer and Jack McCarthy. McCarthy trails the 999, but for now, James Pfeiffer is up the road. Beaton, slowdown penalty. How's he going to serve this? Tactfully, or is he going to have to do a little bit more? Nobody in the pit lane right now. All drivers back out on track. Mark Richards chases down Oscar Corbett, the 420 and the 998 currently. On board with Mark Richards now. The 420 in 10th position. Trying to do everything he can to get up and secure a top 10 position. But with teammates It's always a curious thing. Do you work together or do you battle it out? We spoke to Mark Richards last week when he was battling with Tim Williams and got a good glimpse of what that was like. And Mark Richards described it as a straight up battle where the drivers were ready to go no matter what color paint they were running. A little bit of a confidence lift through Blanchimont is all you need. And breaking at the white line might be a little too deep. Oscar Corbett there at the bus stop gets it planted in time. Mark Richards just eased off the throttle that much more than Corbett. Fairweather here chases down Mikhail Surov. The 83 around the outside gets the nose chopped off by the gaining 12 positions of Isaac Fairweather. Back over to Mark Richards and Oscar Corbett here. On the whole, Richards looks like he's losing a little bit of time there. James Piper in 12th position. What can he do from where he's at? Has a train of sausages in front of him from Jack McCarthy, Mark Richards, and Oscar Corbett. The challenge will be steep to get through any of them. And Sell back up into P2 just happened a moment ago. Here's the move. Piper to the inside, but that's only because McCarthy has a slowdown penalty, but the 999 goes in way too deep at La Source, and McCarthy will swerve his slowdown penalty tactfully into the first corner and still hold on to that position. Mikhail Surov doesn't have the same fortune going his way right now because he's got Fairweather behind him, so he needs to do this at a very, very careful time. Galactic Gremlin, welcome into the YouTube chat. Thank you very much for your love and support. If you're interested in joining and participating, join the Sausage Dodgers Discord. Here comes Ozbadelston trying to make moves with Vladislav Marchenko. Mikhail Surov says, no way, Jose at Brussels. And now at No Name, it'll be the trio. Vladislav Marchenko in the 76, Ozbadelston in the number 1, and Marchenko in the middle. Ozbadelston keeps on pushing those tires and go a little bit further than he'd like to. Here comes Richard and Corbett side by side through Las Fanges. They're going to keep going all the way down towards Stavla. No, single file is the order of operations for the teammates. Just 7 minutes left on the clock. Approaching closer to 6. Holy Toledo. Big moment there for the 998. Had to let off the throttle. Here comes the charge from Mark Richards. A big mistake there for the 998 on traction. Lost it, but there's a more important one. That's Vladislav Marchenko tumbling down the order. We'll have to see how he crashed in a little bit. But here comes the 998 of Oscar Corbett. Mark Richards in the 420 alongside at La Source. On exit, single file. Waiting patiently for his opportunity is none other than James Piper. Let's see what happened to Vladislav Marchenko here. He sits behind Osbadelston and then gets on throttle and just loses it all on his own. And then is stuck on the racing line with not a clear space. Good heads up driving from Vladislav Marchenko, sacrificing a little bit of time to save the entire grid of drivers. Definitely a gentleman's move on that occasion, Vladislav. Maybe my DOTD. Remember we were talking about there being a 1.6 second gap from Butler to Ansel? Well, that gap has now diminished. We're now looking at a half-second gap nearly. Last few laps have gone the way of Butler. Checking out the head-to-head as well here. And Ansel gaining a 10th per lap, the computer tells us. .216.9 compared to 216.7s. We all know it's one thing to catch, it's another thing to pass. Here comes Piper charging around the outside of the 420 at the bus stop chicane. Parks it on the apex, gets that one glued down. And Piper has another one under his belt. Take a look at James Piper's timeline as well. Nothing but positive gains since this event started. Low P18 is where he started this event. So far, high P9. Not too bad. Battle for the lead. Going into Holy Toledo. Side by side. Lacombe's was a moment. They could have touched. The race could have ended here. 3 minutes left on the clock. One more lap left to go. Philip Ansel, what can you produce tonight? Michael Phipps in the chat. What's up, Michael? Thank you very much for being here. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell. We have one more race coming up after this. Don't go anywhere, folks. This is going to be the prime overtaking spot into the bus stop. He knows he's better on the brakes right now. Can he produce enough? Boy, Butler pushing track limits a little far at Blanchimont currently. Puts down the stoppers. Ansel ready to attack. At any moment, the lead could change. Corbett, Piper, Richards are in a battle right now, but we have to keep our eyes here. And there's a big mistake from Ansel coming through La Source. hits. The number 48 loses it on throttle, and that'll be a huge gap to make up. 7/10 the margin. It might just be enough for Louis Butler to walk away with the victory for heat number 1. Let's take a look at those big pack sausages. Here comes Piper on the 24. Atlasaurus gets it through the apex this time. Does a great job of making it clean, cut, and dry. Whoa, here comes Osbadelson on fair weather. Coming down Lacombe's now. Out of Malmedy. It'll be the 18 on top of the number 1. Looking for those 13 positions gained tonight. Can he go the long way around the outside? He's going to do it at Burksell. We all know that the outside line turns into the inside line, and Osbadelson couldn't quite get it done there. Louis Butler, Philip Ansell, 2/10 apart. The gap continuing to diminish despite the wiggle and weave coming out of the source for the 48. Still managing to pull everything out tonight. Knows that this evening could be championship contention. And Sal into the lead around the outside before Blanchimont and Corbin Paul Ferrer. Holy Toledo! Louis Butler has to snap back into the bus stop chicane. He's gonna go late on the brakes, and Sal's gonna go deeper. He's gonna get pushed out to the stripe, and they're gonna go wheel to wheel trading bait. It's gonna be Butler going for the move into the bus stop chicane. Coming at spot Frankershaw, the checkered flag goes Butler's way. Holy smokes! Continuing their bout, Osbadelson and Fairweather, and then further behind, Mark Richards, James Piper pulls a Louis Butler move, goes deep into the second hairpin. Does he come out on top, or is it all for naught at the end of the day? It's Corbett, Piper, and Richards for your top 10. What a fantastic race, folks. Holy smokes. Battles everywhere you looked, down to the checkered flag. Unbelievable race tonight, folks. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. If you like what you see, if you want to get involved in the racing action, scan the QR code on your screen, support the stream. The PayPal goes directly to supporting what we're doing here with the Sausage Dodgers. Scan the QR code on the bottom right-hand side of your screen if you want to get involved in the racing action that we have every single day. Thank you very much to our title sponsor, Barum Engines, for all your classic and competition engine needs. Go ahead and contact Barum Engines. Take a look at the unofficial results. Butler took the win there with 9 laps, led then Philip Anselm, Menteres right behind. Then it was Isaac Fairweather, Osbadelson, Mikael Suron, Richard Beaton, Oscar Corbett, James Pfeiffer, Mark Richards, Vladislav Marchenko, Sam Marshall, Jack McCarthy, Thomas Behinds, Neil Kovalev, Thomas DeJong, Lloyd Butler, Kasper Wazowski, and Anders Timchik, coming out 19 drivers. Get involved in more Sausage Dodgers action every day of the week, folks. Whether we're racing online lobbies or we're having league competitions, join us at Sausage Dodgers Racing. And again, if you like what you see and you want to get involved in more racing action, make sure that you check out our GT3 Season 1. Coming to a close very soon, but we have more events on the horizon very, very soon. So come take a look at what we got here at Sausage Dodgers Racing. BMWs on the horizon and much more to come very, very soon, folks. We're going to take a quick break, folks. Don't go anywhere for more Sausage Dodgers Racing. We'll be right back. And we are back, folks, at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps circuit that was created in 1921 using public roads between the towns of Francorchamps, Malmedy, and Stavelot. The first event here was actually a motorcycle event back in 1921 and didn't host its first Formula One World Championship Grand Prix until the 50s. The circuit was shortened and redeveloped into its modern 7.004 kilometer length in 1979. But even after the redesign, Spa remains one of the longest circuit on the current Formula One calendar. Let's get ready to take a look at our grid, folks, and see who's going to start on pole position for this heat. Starting on the first row, it's going to be Mark Richards and James Piper. Following that, Oscar Corbett, the Sausage Dodger, and Richard Beaton. Row number 3 belongs to Mikhail Surov and Noah Osbaldeston. Following that, row number 4 goes the way for Isaac Fairweather and Mert Menderes. Row number 5 for Philip Ansel and Louis Butler, and 6 for Vladislav Marchenko and Sam Marshall. Going the way for Jack McCarthy and Thomas P. Hines. Row number 8 for Leo Kovalev and Thomas De Jong. Row number 9 for Lloyd Butler and Kasper Wazowski. Then we have 10th row. It's going to be lonely for Andres Timjak. Drivers, start your engines, and it's green, green, green here at the legendary Spa-Francorchamps. The 35 darts around like a madman to the inside line to try to cover off any attacks, and it's going to be to no avail as all the attacks come from the inside. And there goes the 45, excuse me, the 48 and the 35 resuming their battle right where we left them a moment ago in heat number 1. Osbaldeston trying to climb up into the lead, chases down Mark Richards, who's got a 1-second advantage. Slow down penalties being issued all over the place. Huge incident in the background. That's Louis Butler, the championship leader, out of the race now. Oh no! Meatballs, Louis Butler, Isaac Fairweather, Sam Marshall, and Uncle Lloyd. We can get a replay of what happened here. Oh, so Butler, oh goodness gracious, went off after a weird collision into the rear end. Oh my goodness. Well, okay. Here's how things are settling down now, folks. We've got a bit of a debacle here. Mark Richards leads by 2 seconds to the next sausage, Oscar Corbett. Noah Osbaldeston, I'm not sure if he's an honorary sausage dodger or not, but he drives for the Nova Motors Esports organization and the Drive Lounge racing team. He's found a way up into P3. He worked his way there by hard grit and determination. Now challenges Corbett in that 998 for yet another one. Corbett, the wounded bird that he is, can't fight off the snake bite that is Noah Osbaldeston. He succumbs to the attack. Philip Ansel also sees the wounded bird and picks him up and does not put him back in the nest, but takes a big bite. And the bite is deep. Ansel up into 3rd now. This will be back-to-back podiums for Philip at the end of the day. Oscar Corbett tries to defend hard, fair, and square, but the 691 has other ideas with a late break and a move from way downtown. Mert Menderes there on his charge through La Source. For Sector 1, the German man is able to charge up the field, now gaining 4 positions. Oh, egregious use of track limits there for the 48. I'm sure the stewards are going to have something to say about that one, but that's the result if you want to stay alive here at Spa. Oscar serving another slowdown penalty now. Oh, Jack McCarthy having a big code brown on entrance to No Name. Leo Kovalev, driver we haven't mentioned so far. Let's take a look at that timeline over the last lap. It has just been straight up 7 positions gained on his battle. Fairweather, DeJong, Butler, and Marshall all coming out onto the racing circuit. Going to be down an entire 2 laps because they never completed the first. Up here and south. And Oscar Corbett about to tango together. Or shall it be a ballet of art? 2 by 2 is the formation in synchronicity. The mistakes might take place, but they don't. The overtakes too. There they are. Both Mert Banderas and, Philip Ansell and Leo Kovalev get their positions done through the bus stop chicane. Keeping my eyes peeled on this number 83, Mikhail Surhov. Silent but deadly killer in this championship right now. .998 of Oscar Corbett makes moves done on Leo Kovalev. To defend hard but fair is a hard thing to do, but the Sausage Dodgers are trained and well performed in what they do. Here we go, battles behind. Mikhail Surov tries to open the door on the outside of the 187. That'll lead Leo Kovalev, but Richard Beaton and Mikhail Surov have their bout, and that's Noah Osbadelson, I think. What's that? That was Lewis Butler. That was Lewis Butler, folks. Let's get a replay of what happens here. So, but this is Butler and Osbadelston together now, so it looks like okay. Brexel looks okay until it's not. 35 with a little spin here, but how did we get down to no name is the question. Rejoins. This is Louis Butler's rejoin, not too shabby. Comes back across the 998 and just goes straight into the wall. What? I could not decipher what has happened to the 35. That was tremendous hit. And not tremendous in a good way. That was almost leaves me speechless. A big hit into the wall from Louis Butler after a little clip of the curb sends him off to pit lane one more time. And I don't know what to make of that, to be honest. It just seems like it was his doing all on his own. He heated tires from the earlier spin. And yeah, just what a frustrating situation to be in for Lewis Butler to come so close to a back-to-back win tonight, and the polarizing feelings that a driver must have from going from the far end of the field of P1, fighting with some of the best drivers on the grid tonight, and then finishing P last due to 2 meatball flags. That's just unfortunate, my man. Heart goes out to the Butlers. Hopefully he's okay. Haven't heard anything in the chat just yet about him. We'll see if Butler's okay. Send a message out to the garage of the Nova Motors esports team. See if we get a reply. .264 of Andres Timjek and Thomas P. Hines locked in arms right now. Thomas the Train trying to choo-choo his way up to the top 10. Sees P11 in his crosshairs. That's a good place to be. Leaders crossing the line now, producing lap times varying from 2:18.7 to 2:16.8 across the board. Great mix of drivers in this field as well. We're having drivers at skill ratings as low as in the almost 3 digits, all the way up to 5.2K rated drivers, 5.4K rated drivers, excuse me. So, very, very good, healthy grid of drivers playing the field. Here's the 15 and the 264 on their display. Here down the Camel Straight, side by side, ends in nil for Thomas. I just got that joke, Thomas. Your name is Thomas. You did Thomas the Train. I get it now. I apologize. I should have known. That is hilarious. I love it. Mikhail Surov trails Oscar Corbett currently, but he won't do that for too long. Holy smokes, that was close. Coming to Los Angeles, it'll be the 998 Corbett, a nose ahead of the 83 Mikhail Surov. Take a look here for the lead as Osbedelston continues to close down on Richards here. Andrew Kesterton says he's made it. Welcome in, Andrew. Glad you made it, my friend, just in the nick of time, because Osbedelston's about to be within 1 second of Richards. The battle for the lead continues. Philip Ansel here with Mark Richards. Medeiros, excuse me, in the 691. Mark Richards is still in the lead of this race. Slowed on penalty to be served by Richard Beaton. Does it with style and grace. Unfortunately loses the position to James Piper in the 999. Piper, I believe, was involved in that earlier incident, so therefore has to climb up through the field all over again. He's still on the lead lap at this point in time. Vladislav Marchenko chases down Oscar Corbett. Andrew Kesterton asking, where's Tim? I don't know. That's a good question. Where is Tim? Probably on vacation. Get side by side between the 998 and Vladislav Marchenko driving that anime livery tonight. Oh, bouncing and banging over Blanchimont, but it will go the way of the 76. Vladislav Marchenko signs, seals, and delivers that position. Nose to tail yet again. Jack McCarthy gets past with a penalty that he has to serve time for, and the 83 Mikhail Serhov does a good job of taking advantage of the situation. Noah is back up into third. Got passed by Philip Ansel. I believe it was a slowdown penalty, right? That Osbadelsson had to serve? Yeah, it was a slowdown penalty down the Camel Straight. So Osbadelsson sits behind Ansel and Richard, but still feels like he's got some pace and momentum with him. Maybe he can climb on top of the podium and get to victory lane this evening. Mert Menderes joins the conversation, though. What is Mert up to, and can he produce quicker lap times than Osbadelsson? Let's take a look. This might turn into a four-way fight for the lead. We've only just broached the quarter-way mark. Look at the lap times from Ansel, gaining so much on Richards currently. Literally what I'm doing, Andrew. Literally what I'm doing. Sitting back, watching the show, enjoying the show. Mark Richards is going to get attacked by Philip Ansel. The question is when and how will Richards defend? Will he put it the defense or will he let him by? Let's find out. Here's the run down into towards La Source. Richards actually produces his fast lap of the race, his first 217. That'll be a 217.999 he broke into. Up the hill, the run looks good. No penalties are given for egregious use of track limits. Down the Camel Straight, the 420 leads, but for how long will that be the case? so close to touching there. Unbelievable car control out of both drivers. Taking a look here, Jack McCarthy and Vladislav Marchenko. We have to go back up to the lead. I'm so sorry, Mark Richards and Ansel are gonna do it soon. Ansel trails, but not into the bus stop chicane. He goes deep, into deep. He does make the apex in the 420 of Mark Richards. Tries to defend fair and square, but to no avail. And he takes off like a rocket ship. Philip Ansel into the lead for the Barum Engines Porsche Cup Challenge. Thank you very much, everybody, for your love and support. I want to give a shout out to Barum Engines, of course, classic and competition engines of all varieties. Make sure you check out barumengines.com. Well, now Osvaldelson pushing the Blanchimont, no fear in his eyes either, as he slaughters the curbs again and again through the left stop chicane. If you want to support the stream, if you want to get involved, scan the QR code on your screen. Get involved in the racing action. Support the stream. It goes a long way to keep the lights on here at Sausage Dodgers Racing. We also have our GT3 event that you just saw pop up. Season 1, of the GT3 League already started. So find your seat in the series and get involved. Again, big shout out and thanks to our title sponsor, Barum Engines Classic and Competition. Here comes the 998 and the 999. And it might be in sequence on track, but not for long as Piper settles that debut. Oh, but he's got a slow down penalty and has to give the position back. What happened to Noah Osbaldeston? Noah pushing a little too hard in through No Name, loses the rear end, and that'll tumble him down the order. Ugh. Down a lot for Osbaldeston, unfortunately, but that advances Mark Richards onto the podium. Thomas behind the choo-choo train, and Richard Beaton, the 553. Looking forward to Kasper Wazowski in his 9 positions and settling him down a little bit. James Piper up ahead and Oscar Corbett wheel to wheel into the chicane. Who's going to come out on top? It'll be whoever has the inside line going into La Source. Nose ahead for James Piper, but the 998 is later on the brakes. No! Big hit into the wall for the 999. Oh, just a little tiny overlap there. Over to Kasper Wazowski. Leads his battle with Beaton behind. Jay Johns, hey, what's going on? Didn't see you there in the chat. Sorry about that. But yes, Mark Richards. Go, Mark. He's running in P3 right now. Could find himself on a healthy podium yet again. A lot of drivers in the pits right now. The top 10 still on top 12, on the lead lap. Here we go. Will Beaton go for the battle here at the source? No, he backs out. But Beaton goes too deep. He mounts and does a 50-50 grind on the sausage, but somehow manages to keep it in a straight line. Beaton, for insult to injury, gets a slowdown now. What about the battle for the lead? It's changed up quite a bit this race, but right now it belongs to Philip Ansell. .5 second lead. Probably gonna climb that lead. Yeah, he will. Half a second gain on that previous lap. Gonna show you how quick Ansell can be without any traffic or battles. Bandera's in P2 currently, doing a great job of controlling what he can at this point in time. Able to get through on some of the lap traffic here. Mark Richards. I don't want to say too many things that are nice about Richards because we all know about the commentator's curse. He's down 2 positions currently from where he started this event. Only about 15 seconds away from the leader. Running across a little bit of traffic now. Trying to find out where the championship top 5 are in the stands. Another slowdown for Richards. Final lap. Barney's waving the white one. I think you're right, Andrew. Barring any major mishaps, should be it. Philip Ansel, just speechless couple of races, battled with Louis Butler during heat number 1. During the feature race, he battled with everybody. On the opening lap, had a huge battle again with Louis Butler. But this time it ended in tears for fears as Butler had impact at the end of the day. Checkered flag for Philip Ansel. And he'll walk to victory lane. We'll have the official, unofficial results posted here in just a minute. We'll take this time to thank all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you so much for your love and support. Really appreciate you guys keeping the lights on here at Sausage Dodgers Racing. And thank you very much to our title sponsor as well, Barum Engines, for classic and competition engine rebuilding and services. Reach out to Barum Engines. Again, I've been your host, Sagarboxy, taking you from green to checkered flag on behalf of AKE Sports and Sausage Dodgers Racing. It's been a pleasure to take you from green to checkered flag for another wonderful race. Take a look at the unofficial results. Philip Ansel took the win with 7 laps, led over Mark Rangeres and Mark Richards. Hard charge goes to Casper Wazowski with 10 gain. Mark Richards had 8 laps led as well. Mikael Soro came home in 4th, Vladislav Marchenko in 5th. Jack McCarthy, James Piper, Casper Wazowski, Richard Beatson, Thomas P. Hines. Andres Timchik, Thomas DeJong, Sam Marshall, Lloyd Butler, Oscar Corbett, Noah Osmodelson, Isaac Fairweather, Louis Butler, and Leo Kovalev round out top 19. Let's go ahead and talk to the drivers. First, we're going to go ahead and talk to Mark Richards. And Mark, how does it feel to find yourself on the podium here for the Barum Engines Porsche Cup presented by Sausage Dodgers Racing?
fantastic as always, Sagar. Best feeling in the world. Nothing tops it.
I mean, with a field this stacked with drivers, I mean, Philip Ansel coming in at 7.5K, let's call it. Mert Bandera is at 4.6. I mean, this is a combative field. The drivers are willing to risk it all, but in a healthy way, it seems. How does it feel to be on a grid that's stacked with drivers that have skill sets that can go wheel to wheel all race long?
I find it great, and this league kind of lends itself to that kind of wide skill range, which has its own challenges and opportunities to learn and to teach others as well, maybe. But like my experience with these top drivers is they're very good. They're very consistent, and my experience respectful. But big pace difference.
It's been tremendous to watch the community grow, see these drivers step up, and see the sausages perform as yourself have found yourself on the podium. Is there anybody you'd like to shout out or anybody you'd like to thank, Mark?
Thank you to yourself, Sagar. You're doing a great job. I always enjoy watching your videos, and shout out to Jill as well for supporting as always.
Right on, Mark. Thank you so much for joining us here at Spa-Francorchamps. We'll see you next week, hopefully.
Yes, see you next week, Sagar. Thanks.
Next up, we'll talk to Mert Menderes, the driver who came home in P2. Mert had a tricky first heat, didn't find himself where he wanted, I think. But at the end of the day, a podium is still a podium with 6 positions gained. Mert, how does it feel to find yourself on a Sausage Dodgers podium again?
Actually, it was surprisingly calm of a race. I agree with you, though, that my second heat was definitely better than my first one. Actually, there was not much of a difference. The only thing where I would say that was definitely worse was my mistake into Puan, where I just kind of lost it. But at the end of the day, I finished third in that race, and the 2 cars ahead were just a tiny bit faster than me anyway. So I would say I still haven't lost the position because of that mistake. The second race, I would say I also realistically maximized my result because I know Mr. Philip Ansel a bit better, and some say he's decently quick.
Some would say so, yeah. His lap times were very impressive. And as I described with Mark Richards, the skill set as well to go wheel to wheel. Some of the moves that you see, if you watch the video back, are just, I describe them as a ballet between drivers, going into the bus stop chicane side by side at 90 kilometers an hour is an art form, right?
I mean, yeah, I have to say, Philip and I were we were flying in this race, in both races actually, and sometimes literally at Radion. Have you caught it? Sometimes when you hit the wrong line, you are literally lifting
airborne, off. Yeah.
The thing is, I like the Porsche Cup. I really like it, but then these moments just make you question your choices on why you want to drive this car.
Yeah, questions your sanity, right? I mean, but we do it for the love of the game, right? It's all in the passion of the thrill, the hunt, of the adrenaline, and finding that driver that you can go wheel to wheel with all night long is just something that has been the icing on the cake to watch here at Sausage Dodgers Racing for me. I'm jealous that you guys get to enjoy it. I obviously wish that I was on the grid as well from time to time, but Mert Menderes, I'll wrap this up and won't take up any more of your time. Who would you like to thank and who would you like to shout out tonight?
As usual, S1 Esports, for their great support, for taking me on this season, and also to Cool Motorsports as well, for a lot of lovely people. Yep.
Thank you very much, Mert. Really appreciate you. Have a great night, my friend.
Have a good evening. Bye-bye.
And we don't have Philip Ansel currently, so we'll wrap things up, folks. Want to give another big shout out and thanks to everybody in the YouTube chat for joining and saying hello. Thank you very much for your love and support. You guys are absolutely phenomenal. Big shout out to our title sponsor, Barum Engines. Classic competition, rebuilding, whatever you need, contact Barum Engines. If you want to support the stream, if you want to get involved, make sure you scan the QR codes. They're going to be helpful to get you injected into our leagues, folks. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for staying tuned. On behalf of AK Esports, on behalf of Sausage Dodgers Racing, we thank you all for your patronage. All things have to come to an end, and so shall this, folks. Have a great night, and as always, make sure you stay safe out there. Bye for now.